Hey everybody! I'm here today to show you and specifically show you and tell you how to replace skateboard trucks. This will be a full tutorial with step-by-step instructions. So essentially, these are skateboard trucks. They are otherwise known as axles and stuff like that. There's different names for them, but essentially they are these skateboard trucks. The whole setup here is a skateboard truck, okay? This is specifically more like the axle, and this is like the platform, and this is actually a riser. That's what I call them at least, but they're all it's all a skateboard truck. Now, they're really, really easy to replace, and if you're doing a lot of grinding and stuff like that, and if you're sort of doing a lot of tricks on your skateboard, you're gonna wanna replace these, not often, but you're gonna need to replace them eventually. So essentially, that rhymes, eventually and essentially. All right, so I got this World Industries skateboard recently, and obviously these trucks are brand new, but I'm just gonna show you how they would be replaced. There are 4 screws over here on the deck of the board where the grip tape is, and those 4 screws are attached to these 4 nuts over here. You gotta basically remove these 4 nuts from the 4 screws, and you can remove the old trucks. So I've already taken the liberty of loosening them up. All that I did was I used a wrench and I used a screwdriver. Okay, so I had the wrench essentially, and I would hold the wrench on one of the nuts over here, okay, just like that. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna hold it like that, and then I would come over here and I would loosen the screw, and eventually the screw would come off from the nut completely, which it will do in just a moment. There we go. So now, as you can see, the screw can be removed, and the nut is over here. Okay, very, very simple. And you're gonna do the same thing with all 4 of those. Now, luckily, like I said, I already loosened them, so I could probably just do it with my fingers. Okay, just like that. And don't lose these screws and nuts. Obviously, you can get new ones, but you want to avoid having to get new ones unless you really need to. Okay, very, very simple. Just continue doing that until all 4 have been removed. And they're going to be quite tight when you first do it. However, like I said, I did loosen them all just to make the video go a little bit faster, so you wouldn't have to see me, grunting and trying to get them loose enough and stuff like that. Okay, as you can see, this one should come out now as well. There we go. That's done. And one more over here. The last one is right over here. Okay, I'm just going to. Now, when you get to the last one, it does get a little bit more difficult because the truck, as you'll be able to see, is kind of floating around. So it is a little bit more difficult, but still not that hard. Just make sure you're gripping that nut with a wrench or with a ratchet or something and unscrew the screw. And there you go. So what we've done is we've now removed the old trucks, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to get new trucks. Now, depending on the trucks, you don't necessarily need one of these. You can use them, you don't have to. It's kind of up to your own situation. As you can see, this is more of like a universal style riser. But yeah, basically, if you're gonna use the riser, or the platform, whatever you wanna call it, if you're gonna use the piece that adds a little bit more height, then place it down, okay? There's no real, as far as I know, there's no real right or wrong way. Just get it down where all of the screw holes go through the right spots on the riser. Then get your truck and place your truck down, and you're gonna wanna tighten it in place. Very, very simple. Okay, make sure you tighten your truck down in place. Make sure your truck is oriented in the right orientation, the right direction. Make sure it's ready to go. And then all that you need to do, I always like to get a couple of the screws, like you wanna get them loosely in place first, just to make sure that truck doesn't go anywhere. So I'm feeding the screw underneath this, and I'm gonna try and get it in the hole over here, just like that. The screw is in the hole, and I just want to get this nut tightened down, just finger tightened on there. When you've done 2 of the nuts and the screws, just with finger tightening, then at least the truck is not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to get another one over here, and I'm going to try and place it through the hole over here. I'm just trying to find the hole with my finger. As you can see, there we go. And I'm through there. We're going to go through the truck. There you go. We're through the truck now as well. Okay, through the hole in the truck and the hole in the board. We're going to finger tighten this down, like I said. Once you finger tighten them down, like now at least the truck is basically in place. It's not really going to go anywhere. But, I mean, you want to get all 4 in there, and then you can tighten them up really tightly. And you want to make sure your truck platform is held to the board nice and tightly. When people say loosen your trucks, if you want to get a looser ride, they mean this, not these. They mean this. So you want these to be nice and tight, because that's what holds the truck onto the board. You want it to be as tight as it can be, basically, without sacrificing the integrity of the wood of the board itself. Okay, but yeah, that's basically it. We're getting the last one in, and then once these are in, I'll show you what we're gonna do. Okay, so now that they're all 4 in and they're all 4 are finger tightened, what I can do is I can just get the wrench, I'm just going to use this side. It's a little bit easier. Okay, and as I hold it on one, I'm holding the wrench on one of the nuts there. I'm gonna tighten this screw down, and I like to tighten this down about 95%, not 100%, 95%. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one over here, and I'll tell you the reason why we do 95%. Okay, so I'm tightening all of them down about 95%. If I tighten one down 100%, then that truck is going to start to lean to one direction. And we don't want that. You know, when you are tightening down a wheel or a rim on a car, you go in like a star pattern, and you go like most of the way tight, and then you tighten up all of them at the end. Just the final step is tightening all of them, because you want that rim to be nice and flat and plumb. The same thing follows with the skateboard truck. So now all four are tightened down 95%. So what I like to do now is I'm going to go across. I'm going to do this one to 100% over here. So give this just a little extra turn. I'm turning the wrench too over here, as you can see. Okay, I'm turning the wrench, so I'm turning the screw clockwise this way, and then I'm turning the wrench and the nut clockwise this way. Okay, and that really just gives me the maximum. As you can see, I'm turning it clockwise like that. The maximum tightness, that's 100% tight. Now I'm going to go across to this one over here. I'm going to tighten the screw clockwise. Okay, it's basically tightened as much as I don't want to strip the screw. So now I'm going to go with the wrench, and I'm tightening the wrench clockwise for the rest of the way, as you can see over here. Okay, while holding the screw in place. That's done. Now I'm going to come up here. Once again, tighten the screw to basically 100%. Okay, I don't want to strip the screw. And then tighten the wrench the rest of the way. All right. And then lastly, this one over here was the final one. And obviously you can check to make sure you did them all, but I know I did them all as far as I know. I'm going to tighten this up, the screw to like 100% basically. And then now I'm going to go with the wrench. I'll show you what I do with the wrench over here. So I'm going to hold this in place. And with the wrench, what I do is I just kind of go the rest of the way like that. One more little turn, we should be in the clear, just like that. Okay, we're good. And that's it. So that's essentially how to remove the old skateboard truck and replace it with a new skateboard truck. A full tutorial with step-by-step instructions. It's not that hard to do. I promise you, if you practice, it's really easy, honestly. If I wasn't doing the video tutorial, it would take me like maybe 3 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. And that's it. If you like this video tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.